Hello there and welcome. I have one quick question for you before we begin. Are you looking to grow your speaking business? Are you looking to market your business on stage, build brand authority, land more speaking gigs, make money as a speaker? If this is you, I have to let you know that you are absolutely in the right place today because we're going to talk more about finding that perfect stage for you. And I'm going to tell you how you can start doing that and a little bit more about iFind You Close and where we are in this world, helping you get on stage and finding that perfect stage. So, as we keep going, I do have to introduce myself. Hey there, I am Phylecia Jones, and I am so excited to be here today. But before we get started, I have one little quick stat to let you know about. There are over 1.9 million events happening annually in the United States, and that means that's about 5,000 plus events happening every day. So if you're one of those people who says, you know what, there aren't enough stages, people keep taking the stages that I want, I'm here to let you know that is absolutely not the case. What we do here at I Find You Close is research to the nth degree. And the one thing that we have found that there is a stage for you. So this is something you really don't have to worry about, okay? So as we go on today, just let you know, I got your back when it comes to getting on stage. Now, a little bit more about me. And let me turn my camera on over here so you can see who I am. Like I said, I am Phylecia Jones. I am the lead researcher of I Find You Close, and I'm the founder as well. And I have been a part of this world of speaking in some very interesting ways. Not only have I been a speaker for the last 8 years in business, marketing my business on stage, I've also been a paid speaker talking to women in technology. I've also emceed, which is a lot of fun. But I spent about 4.5 years as someone who booked speakers. I was a speaker coordinator for two organizations here in Colorado, and I sat on quite a few different committees selecting speakers. And I will tell you, it's been interesting sitting on that side of the pitches and how people reach out, how they don't follow up. And so I've always liked to tell myself that I've had a very interesting role when it comes to speaking. And my background is in computer science and systems engineering. I was a computer scientist for the U.S. Navy, and I just knew how to find things. So putting all those things together, gosh, and I created this whole thing because it was what I wanted when I was a speaker. Because what happened to me, it's just like any other speaker out there. You know what? I did not know where to start when it came to finding speaking gigs. I struggled finding quality gigs because I didn't really know like what was quality, and people would just say get on stage and you're like, how, and so I really had to kind of struggle and feel my way through it because a lot of the people I reached out to, their information was not as useful. Because I get it, everybody is guarding everything that they have, and they don't want anyone to get in the way of anything. So I wasn't sure how to make money. I had a serious case of FOMO because I would see people on Instagram and I was scrolling like, oh my gosh, they're taking the gigs I want. How do I do it? They look like they have an amazing life. And then, of course, I was just clueless how to pitch and how to get things done. I really wasn't sure how I was going to do this in the world of speaking. But one thing that I did have was the tenacity to figure it out. I put on my research hat and I said, you know what? If this is what I'm going to do, we're going to make sure it happens. Now, what we're going to do today, we're going to talk about quite a few things. We're going to talk about the benefits of speaking for those of you who are like, I'm not really sure if speaking is a thing that I want to do, but I'm kind of sitting on the fence on it. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what to expect as a speaker, what to expect when searching for speaking gigs. All right, I'm gonna get you in the mindset when it comes to searching for your perfect stage. Managing your business, this is something a lot of us kind of skip over when it comes to speaking. And then along the way, I'm gonna tell you more about I Find You Close, how we help you. Like seriously, that is our job, is to help you get on stage, not stress out, and keep doing your thing because one, you are absolutely amazing. So that is what we're going to do today. Now, of course, if you have any questions around anything, put them in the comment box. I will make sure that I will answer any questions that you have around all the things that we are talking about today. So let's jump into the benefits of speaking. Now, I have to tell you, after doing this for a few years, of course, there are a lot of benefits when it comes to speaking, but the one thing is, it is a lot of fun. Your ego is stroked a lot, but hands down, it's probably one of the most interesting things I've ever done. And I've done some interesting things in my life. I've been a professional cheerleader. I spent some time with a circus. I've traveled the world working with NATO armies. I've done all these different things, but speaking is probably hands down one of the more interesting things that I've absolutely done. And it was so much fun, or it has, and it still remains to be that much fun. So, if you're thinking about speaking, let's go ahead and talk about that. The benefits of speaking come with marketing your brand on stage across the globe. Hands down, you can build a global brand if you're willing to get a passport and get out there. And in this day and age, if you're willing to do virtual, it's all right here for you. You become known in an industry. One of the frameworks that we teach here at iFind You Close is become an industry unicorn. Become so different that they have to keep booking you because you are amazing. Hands down, the best way to convert clients from the stage. Now, remember, all of these things that we're doing out there, we're either doing sales calls, we are trying to market on social media, but speaking has that amazing benefit of doing the one to many. You get on stage one time, you talk to many people at one time, and you have the opportunity to close business deals right then and there. That is amazing. That's what I've loved about speaking. You get to travel the world. That is hands down my favorite. If you join us at I Find You Close, you're going to find out more about me, and that's travel is the thing that keeps me going. I'm an RV traveler, airplane traveler. I go everywhere, and I take my speaking career with me. And of course, hands down, one of the best ways to increase your sales and increase your revenue is to get on stage to market your brand. And like I told you, there are quite a few other benefits when it comes to speaking, but the ones that have really hit home for me is meeting amazing people. I have met so many amazing people while out on stage. People who, you know, run events, and people who kind of lead me into some interesting areas. And of course, the mentorship of other people who are experts in their field. Of course, you get to flex your networking muscles. Speaking is all about networking. You are put on stage because you are the authority, you are the expert, and everybody will listen to you. Now, gigs turn into lifetime opportunities. One of the things that has helped me in my business is just getting on stage and getting, like, the domino effect of getting some amazing opportunities. I was able to land a TV show contract for a year from a speaking gig. Doing documentaries, being tons of podcast interviews, all kinds of things, all from just getting on stage, networking, and meeting amazing people. And of course, like I said, you feel absolutely like a superstar. I gotta tell you, getting on stage, I mean, it does stroke your ego quite a bit, but it does feel good while you're there. You feel like you are in command of everything you're doing because once you get on stage, you show up with the confidence. Everybody is looking to you for your skills, your expertise, and your confidence will absolutely shine while you're on stage. So if you're still thinking about speaking and you're not really sure, hopefully that's enough to convince you that this is the right move for your brand and for your business. Now, let's move on to getting into the real bits and pieces of it. Being a speaker and what to expect. Now, one of the things that you're going to find out about me is that I don't sugarcoat many things. I just come straight to you and tell you my experience. You can choose to listen to it or not. I always say take my advice with a grain of salt, but this is what I've experienced over the few years, the people I've met, and how it has basically affected me and my business for the good and for the bad. Now, being a speaker means you are clear on your message, like hands down. You're clear on your message. You're not getting on stage wasting time. You know exactly who you're talking to, what you're talking about, and how you are going to deliver. Speaking, being a speaker is someone who practices, someone who embeds what they do into their core. This is what I mean about being clear on your message. Of course, you niche, depending on where you are, niche and narrow down your audience, your talk topics, your specialties. One thing I will say, as someone who has booked speakers and I've seen pitches and websites, if you say you talk to everyone, you get booked by no one. Remember, speaking is just like a product of anything else that you're selling. Confused buyers don't buy. And when I sat in the chair of being a speaker coordinator and looking at websites and getting confused as to what you talk about, I never booked those people. So that's why you have to get clear on this message and your niche and narrow down. This is what it is to be a speaker, to be a student of your craft and always striving to be better than what you were before. And of course, you need to understand how you will make money. Now, I know this sounds a little funny. It sounds a little funny because you're like, well, I'm just going to get on stage and make money. Yeah. I mean, if it was that clean, that's how it worked. Because a lot of us think that we put speaker behind our name and they will come. It really doesn't work that way. You have to be very clear on how you're going to make money. Are you selling from the stage? Is it contracts? Is it training? Is it workshops? Is it products? You have to be clear on how you're going to make money because your first few speaking gigs, you might not get paid. And if you do get paid, it might not be a lot. So remember, we're still running a business and you got to understand how this is all going to work while you're trying to get on stage. I mean, this is honestly what it is like to be a speaker. And then the next thing, now this is where it gets really, really serious, and I really want you to pay attention to me on this one. You have to decide where you want to be as a speaker. Now, of course, this is going to morph and change as times go on, but you have to decide where you want to be. Do you want to be a full-time speaker, meaning the majority of your money comes from you getting on stage, keynoting, workshops, trainings, all of it? That means when you're not on stage, you are not making money. Of course, you may have other things, but what I learned during the pandemic for all of my friends who are hands down 100% professional speakers, when the income stopped coming in, they weren't making any money and they started to struggle. But that's okay because they know their game. They know how to get back out there. So if you're going to be a full-time speaker, that means the majority of your money and your time is spent getting out there on stage. Now, for my part-time people, if you're going to be a part-time speaker, now I will say I have fallen into this category over the last couple of years because I haven't been getting on stage as often because I'm running a business. But part-time speaking, this is where we shine here at iFind You Close. These are the people who make their money from coaching, consulting, or being content creators, meaning you still have a business to run. You still have clients to work with, but you know the value of speaking. You know the value of getting out there and marketing your brand on stage. And you're willing to go do it to build the authority to gain more clients and so that people will know who you are. This is where I am at the moment because, yeah, I still have a business to run. And yes, I'm still able to get on stage. And no, I'm not trying to make it a full-time profession of speaking because it is great. I can do a mix of things. I can go out and market my business on stage. I can also get paid. I can also do training, but it's not where the majority of my money comes from. So this is why we thrive here for the part-time speakers because we understand, I understand personally what it's like trying to manage business and what it's like trying to manage getting on stage at the same time. Basically, it's kind of like two different businesses. And of course, my last one is thought leaders or thought leadership. Now, this is a very unique one. Now, these are typically the people who run a company. They've had tons of success and they want to get on stage, but not necessarily make a full-time career of speaking. They have something to say about the things that they've learned over the years of running a company. Basically, they want to share their message for the good of everyone. And I call these people the thought leaders because what they're going to do is use some of their credibility from being a founder, being a CEO, to get out there to share their message. They don't want to get on all the stages. They want to get on the select big time stages where they can make an impact fast. Now, of course, these are the people who might want to go do a TED Talk, a TEDx Talk, or anything like that. But at the end of the day, they still go back and run their companies, but they just like to drop in every now and then and talk about, just a couple of things that they have learned. So hopefully, you got a good idea. And I want to tell you, this is how iFind You Close helps with all of that. Because you might be wondering, okay, so why are we talking about this? Here's the deal. Like I said, it's real talk on what it's like being a speaker. It ain't easy. It ain't sexy sometimes, Putting on the Spanx and the makeup is when it becomes sexy, but it is a lot of hard work. And I try to make sure you understand that because if this is where you want to go and be a success, Absolutely, it is for yours to take. Now, we do behind the scenes weekly emails, content, YouTube videos, and I just tell you what's going on, things that's going on in the industry. Remember, I'm a big time researcher. I love to get out there and research. So I dig into the events industry just to see what they are doing so that you understand how you can adapt yourself to getting on stage. Also, I like to stay on top of what coaches and sales seminars are doing so that you'll be warned of things to watch out for. So I'm the one who's back there just kind of digging and doing all this stuff and letting you know. And we, of course, we do that with our emails, we do that with our content here on YouTube. Make sure you go like and subscribe. And of course, we have our lifestyle content blog. This is one of the things that we've started, and we're going to keep building into 2022 and into the next year because there is so much around being a speaker. It's more than just getting on stage. It's understanding how to travel, how to stay healthy, the wellness, how to keep your business up and going, and how to keep relationships intact while you are focusing on this one major thing. And of course, for those of you who want to step your toes into the world of thought leadership, we post TEDx events. We go and do that research for you and other big time events where your thought leadership will be on stage for thousands and thousands of people for your brand and for your company. So we do all of this for you, and this is how iFind You Close steps into that role to basically be your research team to keep you in the know and make sure that you're always a student of your craft when it comes to getting on stage. I hope that sounded really good to you because I'm pretty excited myself listening to all this. Now, let's get on to one of the other things that I know that you're here for, and that is searching for gigs. Woo! I mean, if I can make money just off of searching for gigs, wait a minute, I do. Uh, this is one of the things everybody comes to me, every speaker. How do I find gigs? How do I search for gigs? And I'm going to give you a little bit of behind the scenes, like I said, real talk on what is like searching for gigs, okay? So hang on with me because we are definitely going to get there. Searching for gigs is about time. So let me switch over to this other camera. It's about time. Time. Just because you put speaker behind your name, just because you put speaker in your social handles, doesn't mean gigs will come. Trust me, I tried that. It did not work out for me. What I realized was I was going to have to sit down and figure out how to give myself the time to go and research and to go and find these gigs. Now, like I said, searching for gigs is about time. For those of you who are full-time speakers or want to become full-time speakers, you're looking at 20 to 40 hours a week. Now, you might be like, oh my gosh, remember, the majority of your money is coming from speaking. So this is your job. Speaking is your job. It is your profession. And this is what you're doing every day. You're out there researching, you're pitching, you're following up, you're making sure everything is in place so that someone can book you. Now, for my part-time people, you're looking at about 10 to 20 hours a week, or you can kind of, the sweet spot is around 10 hours a week where you're not trying to get all of the gigs. You still have clients to manage. You still have a business to run. You still have other things that you need to do to kind of cover all of the things that are going on in your life and in your daily work schedule. And some of you might be full-time career people. So you don't have the time to give 40 hours a week unless you want to not sleep at night. But with my part-time speakers, you're looking at about 10 to 20 hours a week of being strategic. Now we're being very strategic, going after the gigs that we know are suitable for us, the perfect stages that'll give us a mix of everything, the authority, the thought leadership, the ability to sell, to have clients, to network, and of course, to have fun. That's what we do, and that's where we are geniuses at here at iFind You Close, of working with those part-time speakers. Now, of course, being a speaker, searching for gigs means that you need to have systems and processes in place. You cannot get gigs if you are not organized. I hate to tell you this. You cannot get gigs if you're not organized. You need tracking tools. You need pitching and following up systems. You need all of this because you will end up like what I did in the very beginning. You'll start losing gigs because you had nothing in place to track where everything is, or you will start going after some of the bad gigs, the not so great quality, where you leave and just like, oh my gosh, I just wasted 3 hours of my life. What just happened? So this is what it is to be in the mode of searching for gigs. You have to have systems and processes in place so that you can be efficient, you can work quickly, and you know exactly who to target and not waste any time. That is what we're trying to go for, not wasting time because you got other things to do. Now, of course, searching requires positioning yourself. And I think a lot of us as speakers, we forget this. Speaking is all about positioning. Remember, being a speaker, you're just a brand new product. You have to market it, you have to hone it, and you have to make it look good to the people who are going to book you. So it's all about positioning yourself when searching for gigs, positioning your brand properly, positioning your talks so that it can go to the right people, understanding exactly who you need to talk to when you want to get booked, positioning your assets, meaning your websites, your photos, your videos, testimonials, all of those matter. They absolutely matter. And of course, your social media marketing. We want to make sure everything is consistent throughout everything that you're doing on stage. And then finally, it takes patience. When I've worked with speakers, people want to go right now. I want to be on stage and make $1 million. Trust me, if it was that easy, I wouldn't be doing this video right now. But it does take time. It takes patience. It takes being consistent. It takes being able to focus and not get distracted. This is what it is like to search for gigs. And all of it matters. As somebody who's sat on the other side of looking at speakers and what they have, it matters to me to determine whether or not I was going to book you. So this is what we do here at iFind You Close. We want you to be prepared. I always want you to be prepared. I want you to know everything that I have learned when it comes to being on this other side so that you don't make the mistakes that I've seen, make the mistakes that I made. And of course, I want to celebrate you getting on stage. So what we do at iFind You Close to help you get on stage is that we do the research for you. We take those hours and give you a few back so that you can go do other things like work with your clients, work on your marketing, maybe get a massage, go on a vacation. This is what we do. We spend those hours with our team and doing the research and finding opportunities that could fit you. We look at locations, topics, industries, and we tell you what they are good for. If you're trying to build authority, if you want to convert clients, this is what we do at iFind You Close. And we post new speaking opportunities every week. Doesn't even matter if it's a holiday. We post new speaking well, I take that back, maybe around, the Christmas time. We post new speaking opportunities every week to help you, kind of de-stress from having to always find the gigs. And we position it so that all you have to do is say yay or nay, pitch or no pitch. And then, of course, after that, you follow up and then you close the deal. Now, we do have courses to help you stay organized. If you're trying to build your speaker one sheet, you need tracking tools, you need ideas. We have courses to help you every step of the way. Every question that you may have, we have a course for it. And I am the one who's leading you through those courses to help you understand what is going on inside of your business and inside of your career as a speaker. And of course, we have workshops and Q&A sessions. I mean, gosh. That is the backbone of what we do is keep sharing information, jumping on the camera, and answering the questions that you have. I absolutely love what we're doing here at iFind You Close, and hopefully you're getting a little bit excited and knowing that this is our job, and that is to help you save time, give you time back when it comes to finding your perfect stage. Now, the next thing that we do is manage business as a speaker. Now, this is something I want you to pay attention to. Whew, this is a big one because a lot of us, we're not really sure what to do with our business. Like, is our business speaking? Is it something else? And then we try to do all of the things, And what I've noticed is that you can't do all of the things. So what we try to do is to help you ease all of these questions that are in your head. And that is money management. Like I said, we have courses and workshops to help you understand the bits and pieces of managing your profit and loss statements, your contracts, hiring, anything when it comes to running a business. We talk about when to hire, how to hire a VA. Is it time to get an agent? Is it time to bring on a business manager? One of the things we do here at iFind You Close. We make sure that you have digital products because one thing that I preach the most is that if you don't have anything to sell, please don't get on stage. I know it's controversial, but those digital products, those books that you create, we use those to leverage to make even more money to get on stage. This is how we turn a free gig, an unpaid gig, into a paid gig by leveraging those products. We talk about managing clients. What do we do when we have 16 gigs in 1 month and we still got like 20 clients to work with? We help you ease through that so that you can better time manage everything that you're doing. And of course, our biggest thing is generating revenue, trying to help you look at all of the streams of income that you may not have thought about being a speaker, because I don't want you to end up, some of the traps that I got in when I first started. And that was being excited, getting on stage, and then realizing, okay, I'm leaving money on the table, but I'm not really sure where. And so this is where we come in, just to remind you not to leave anything on the table so that you can keep going. Okay. Uh, and how we help you with that, like I said before, we have courses dedicated to money management, contracts, hiring, creating digital products, the best tools, what products that you can create, how to repurpose everything. We have courses, and we have the content on our YouTube channel that we give to you so that you can be on top of everything. And the other thing, when it comes to money, this is something that we've started doing in 2021. We post business grant opportunities. Now, I know it may not sound like a big thing to you, and I might feel like I'm glossing over it, but we find these opportunities so that you can get free money for your business. Grants and small business grants are out there so that you can keep your business funded, so that you can keep getting on more stages to grow out there in all the markets that you're trying to get into. And we love posting these business grants. We can post up to $200,000 in grant money that will help you market, expand, grow your business. That's what these grants are for, just on your ideas or where you're trying to go in business. And of course, with business pitch competitions, this is an amazing thing for us as speakers. I mean, gosh, we already like getting on stage. Now you get to put on your sales hat, negotiation hat, and get on stage, talk about your business, and win yourself some money. Basically, think of Shark Tank. That's what a business pitch competition is. And you'll be surprised. We've posted business pitch competitions for up to $100,000 and 1 year of mentorship with some of the biggest companies on this planet. So this is what we do to help you stay on top of everything when it comes to speaking and running a business. We're not here just to say, here's your signature talk, go on. We're trying to look at the big picture of you being a success. And the more you are a success, the more I'm happier, and the more my team is excited for you at the same time. Now, we're getting close to wrapping up, but I have one thing that I want you to do. We've talked about a lot of things. Now I want you to imagine your business. Imagine yourself on stage. Imagine pulling speaking in and what that looks like for you. And I'm pretty certain you see yourself on stage with lights. You got an audience full of people hanging on to the edge of your seat, ready to hear everything you say. And then the moment you stop talking, they are trying to run you down because they want to do business with you. This is what I want you to imagine when it comes to speaking and managing a very successful business and putting yourself out there. I have done this for myself. I've worked with others, and I have to tell you, it is probably the most exciting thing that I have ever done in my entire life. Now, with that, if you're ready to kind of learn a little bit more about iFind You Close, this is what I want you to see right here. We are a monthly membership subscription company. All of the things that I talked about with the courses, with the speaking opportunities posted weekly, the business pitch competitions, the TEDx talks, the business grants, this is all yours for $19.99 per month. I mean, seriously. All you have to do is go to ifindyouclose.com and learn about a little bit more. No contract. Absolutely no contracts. You can cancel at any time. Instant and easy access to our platform. Nothing goes away. Nothing is hidden in your inbox trying to scramble and find anything. You get new speaking opportunities every week, and you get access to the ones we've recently posted. Nothing disappears. Everything is transparent and there for yours to take, to pitch, and to close. Now, one of the things that I've absolutely loved about I Find You Clothes, one, it puts me into my genius zone, and I get to share everything from all of the speakers that I've learned from over the years, my mentors, my friends who are speakers. I bring all of this to you so that you can get out there and do what it is that you need to do. Now, I definitely thank you for your time. Make sure you go check out I Find You Clothes. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out in the comments, in the DMs. We're everywhere on the internet, so it's not that hard to find us. But I'm excited that you're here today, and I'm excited to tell you more about what we're doing here at I Find You Clothes. And of course, if you have any questions around anything that we're doing, do not hesitate. Do not hesitate to reach out. But go check us out at ifindyouclothes.com. And I thank you so very much for your time.